to with Mr. Adams. How to with Mr. Adams.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of How to with Mr. Adams. Today we're going to be reviewing how to solve one-step equations. So what I want you to do right now is just add a title into your notes. If it's review for you and you remember, that's okay. Just some extra practice. Add it anyways. Solving one-step equations. So we're going to start with really simple x plus 4, and I'm sure x plus 4 equals 6. I'm sure most of you are thinking right off the top of your head, well, yeah, obviously 2 plus 4 equals 6. But how do you do this algebraically? How do we do this mathematically to show our work? So what you want to always be thinking about is doing the opposite operation to balance the equation. So remember, an equation like this is just like a scale. So right now it's perfectly in balance. This side weighs the same amount as this side. So if I want to make any changes to one side, I have to do the exact same thing to the other side. And our goal is to isolate the variable. So you want to end up with x, or whatever your variable is, all by itself. So that means I need to get rid of this plus 4. So how do we do that? Well, we need to go x plus 4 equals 6. So to get rid of this plus 4, you have to do the opposite operation. The opposite of adding 4 is subtracting 4. So I'm going to subtract 4. Now, if this was a scale and I took 4 pounds away from this side of the scale, well, I need to take 4 pounds away from this side of the scale. So I'm going to also subtract 4 from this side. I'm going to write it right below. So now what happens is 4 minus 4 gives you 0. 6 minus 4 gives you 2. Our final answer would be x equals 2, because all that's left on my left side of the equation is x. The 4's have canceled. All that's left on the right side of my equation is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay, so that was pretty simple. Let's look at another one. X minus 4 equals 6. Same idea here. You're going to do the opposite operation. So here's my variable x. And I'm subtracting 4. I want to do the opposite operation. So the opposite of subtracting 4 is adding 4. Anything I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side of the equation. So negative 4 plus 4 equals 0. 6 plus 4 equals 10. So we get x equals 10. And if I go back and I actually try this out and I substitute 10 into my equation, we get 10 minus 4 equals 6. Pretty straightforward. Okay, let's take a look at something with multiplication. So here we have 2x equals 8. Now it's exactly the same as before. I look at my variable. What is happening to my variable? Well, I want to end up with x all by itself. So in the end, we want to have x equals something. Okay? So I have 2x equals 8. What's going on between the 2 and the x? What operation is happening? Multiplication. We have 2 times x. We need to do the opposite operation. So the opposite of multiplying, and I'm going to write it so it looks like a fraction, is dividing. I'm going to divide this side by 2. Anything I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side of the equation to keep it balanced. So I'd go 8 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives you 1. 8 divided by 2 gives you 4. All right, so x equals 4. I'll circle my, I didn't circle my answers on the previous ones. And if you want to double check that it works, let's actually substitute it back in. So remember, whenever I make a substitution, I'm going to put it in brackets. So 2 times 4 should equal 8, right? Wherever I saw I had an x, I replaced it with 4. 2 times 4 is 8? Yeah, that's right. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 equals 8. Then you know your answer that you came up with is correct. That's how you check your answer. One more. We have x divided by 3 equals 9. So what's happening here? Well, I'm dividing by 3. And we want to get x by itself. In order to do so, you need to do the opposite operation. Opposite of dividing is multiply. So I'm going to write over here in my other color times 3. And anything I do to one side of the equation, I must do to the other, times 3. Okay. Now this is essentially what we have here is 3 over 3. Okay, so these 3's will cancel with each other, which gives us x all by itself. And then over here we have 9 times 3, which is 27. Circle your answer. Let's see if we got it right. We'll substitute into our original expression up here. So it was x, wherever I see an x, I'm going to substitute in 27, and I will put it in brackets. 27 divided by 3 equals 9. Yeah, 27 divided by 3 is 9. So you know you got it right. Okay. And that is how you solve one-step equations with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Ask Mr. Adams if you have any other questions.